All right, everybody, so you should have just gotten the affiliate plugin installed on your WordPress website. If you haven't done that yet, you need to watch the other video because in this video, we're actually going to start using it. I'm going to give you some instructions of how to get it set up and so forth. Now, there's going to be parts of this video that may seem overly technical and complicated, and they may confuse you the first time, but it's not really that complicated. Just go back and watch this video a few times, get the basics down first, start using it, and I promise it'll make sense as you start using the plugin. So right over here at the bottom, we see a WordPress affiliates. If you hover over that, you'll see this sidebar menu drop out. And the first place I would recommend you go to is set cookies. So we're going to click on set cookies. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to put parameters in here. You can set as many parameters as you want, and what this is going to do is it's going to set a cookie on your website visitor's machine that every time they come back to your site, it will remember that. So if an affiliate has a particular identifier, you can set that cookie on the user's machine. That way, every time they come back to your site for the next 30 days, that cookie's in place and all of the links across your entire site are credited to that particular affiliate, okay? So what we're going to do, you need at least one identifier in here, and let's start with this middle box where it says defaults to. You're going to want to make sure in this box here, you want it to be open bracket, ID, and I think it needs to be lowercase, and then a closed bracket. I think this is the only one that has to be a specific set of numbers because that's how the database functions and reads it for the PHP code. Now, where it says URL parameter 1, you could make this ID, but it doesn't have to be. It doesn't necessarily have to match what you put in this box here. So if we put ID, basically what this is where it stores it inside of the database. And this is what they're going to put into their URL, into their link. So this is, nobody will ever see this because this is just in the internal database. When visitors come to your website, they will see this. So it could be ID, it could be user, and maybe to help you determine what you want that to be, here's how it's going to look in a URL. It would be like, for example, if your website was, mycoolwebsite.com, and then you wanted your referral ID at the end, you would put question mark and whatever that parameter was. It could be ID equals whatever, or it could be question mark user equals, it could be question mark affiliate equals, it could be question mark AFFID for affiliate ID equals. Make that whatever you want. It doesn't really matter, but it's going to store it inside of this bracket ID in the database, okay? So for our purposes here, I'm just going to keep it simple and I'm going to make it ID, okay? And then for cookie duration, this is how long you want the cookie to be set. I'm going to go ahead and put 30 days. If you want no cookie to be set, I mean, I don't really know why you would want that, but if you do, you can put 0, and it basically sets a cookie for while they're on your site, and then as soon as they close down their browser, it deletes the cookie off of their machine. Typically, you're going to want that cookie set. So we're going to go ahead and update it. Now, that's really the only one you have to have is with this bracket ID, call it whatever parameter you want, and that's what's going to go into the URL. You can put additional parameters in here. You're probably not going to need more than an extra 2 or 3, but the reason why you might want to, and this is where it could get a little more complicated, I'm going to show you what you can do here. And by the way, you can always come back and set this parameter later. But let's say that you were promoting something that had a tracking ID and you were doing paid advertising, let's say to a ClickBank product or to, like for example, inside of Elite Marketing Pro, which is one of the programs I promote, they have a parameter that is, it's like a tracking ID. It's SID. Now, you don't have to make that match here. Remember, your website, this is just where you're going to hold it. So let's say you wanted to create something on your website that was tracking ID, TID1, and you wanted it to hold it in a spot in the database that was bracket. It has to start with an open bracket, and we'll call it TID1, close bracket, and we'll make it 30 days. Let's say you also wanted another tracking ID. We could call this TID2, and then we can put in open bracket, TID2, close bracket. Once again, set the cookie for however long you want. You could keep doing this if you want. I'll just make it with 3 cookies that could be set. And these IDs, let me just show you how they're going to work in a URL. So let's say that somebody came to your really cool website and they put in, so for our instance, we put in $ID equals, and I don't know, let's say that they've got a number like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The next ID is going to be and, right? And then what you're going to do is you're going to put in whatever you called it. I'll put in TID1 for tracking ID 1, an equal sign, and let's say that I was advertising on Facebook. I could call this Facebook ad 1, and then I could put in, if I needed a second tracking ID, I could call it and TID2 equals, I don't know, let's say I was advertising to United States women was my target or something, right? I mean, this is a way for you to kind of track your ads. Now, when they go to your website, it's gonna cookie this person with this affiliate ID, this tracking ID, and this second tracking ID until at such point that you overwrite that data, okay? And I'll show you how this functions inside of the site a little bit later, but by the way, I'm setting all of this stuff up inside of a brand new account, since that's how yours is obviously going to be, is going to look. And then I'll go over and I'll actually show you mine, how I have it set up in a full-blown, lots of links and everything. So that's the first thing you want to do, is set your cookies. The next step you want to do is you want to set your master link. What's a master link? Well, let's click over here where it says master link. Now, so a master link is going to be the fallback link. In other words, inside of your website, you're not actually going to be like behind a button, or if you're going to hyperlink some text in a blog post or on your web page, you're not actually going to put www.google.com or whatever. You're going to put some special PHP code, and I'll show you where that code's at. It's as easy as copying and pasting. But if the database doesn't have a backup, let's say somebody comes to your site and they do not put in an affiliate identifier, then the system is not going to know what link to use. This is your backup to make sure. So what I recommend you do is you start here and you say, okay, what all links and products and promotions and offers and whatever do I want to have links for? So for example, with me, one of my programs that I promote is called Elite Marketing Pro. So I would go over to myelitehub.com. I would click on my offers, and then I'd go to affiliate links. Okay. Now these are going to be my affiliate links. So if this is your website, you want to make sure that the backup link is obviously your affiliate link or your link to your replicated website or whatever, and not someone else's. So for example, I might put in a link for the Ignition Coaching Program. So the Ignition Coaching sales page, I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to say add link. And then, so I'm going to paste the link here where it says backup link, and then I'm just going to describe it so I have a representation of what that is. I'll call it Ignition Coaching sales page, right? Now let's update the links. And now we can add another link. So let's click add link. And now let's say the next thing I wanted to do was I also wanted to add, let's say, attraction marketing formula. So I can come down here. This is my link for the attraction marketing sales page. So I'll copy this one right here. I'll put it in and I'll call it AMF sales page, right? And I can do this as many times as I want. And I can do it for different opportunities. If I was also promoting, a network marketing opportunity and I had a replicated website, let's just say add link, and I could say, MLM company 1 or whatever it is for my description, and it could be HTTP. By the way, make sure you put in the HTTP to make sure that the links work. So it'll be HTTP://. That's how all of them are going to start. And then I could call it my company website.com, right? Or whatever your replicated website is. And I'll say update links again, right? You just keep updating your links. You can do this over and over and over, and it just keeps putting those inside the database. Now, how do you actually get this link, inside of a web page? Well, what you're going to do next is, so remember, the master links, these are all of the fallbacks. If somebody comes to your website with no affiliate ID, it's going to, and you say, hey, button 1 goes to link 1 for Ignition Coaching sales page, it's going to say, hey, this affiliate, or there was no affiliate, where do I go? It's automatically going to look inside of the master link and pull this link here. Okay, that's what that's for. Now it's time to start setting up your affiliates. I would recommend you be an affiliate, right? You're going to want to do that. So I'm going to click on WordPress affiliates right here. And so you would put in your name for your identifier. What do you want your identifier to be when you send people to your own website? You know, it could be a number. Let's make it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 if you want to. You know, you could make it your, you know, for me, I could call it T's Honor, my first initial last name, whatever. The identifier is just what the visitor is going to see in the URL when they come to your website, right? Now, where it says register date, this is just for you to keep track of when people registered, and you're going to click save. And by the way, this little check mark here, this is to let you know that this ID has not been used yet. It's still an open ID. So we're going to save this. And now, what we do is we click on your name. So now we're inside of this particular affiliate's profile. This is his link profile. Now, the reason why there are 3 links in this profile are because we have 3 in the master link. What it is automatically going to do at first is it's going to put in a link. It's going to put the backup link into this box here. Now, let me explain how these boxes work. This box here is where the system is going to check first for the link. If there is no link here, it will then go here. And if for some reason this box is empty or there's no affiliate at all, it will then revert back to the master link. Okay? So this is the code where it says PHP include space file equals link 1. This is what you're going to use for link 1. So by the way, you're going to need to make sure that everybody across your entire website is link 1 is always for the Ignition coaching program, right? And link 2 is always for Attraction Marketing Formula or whatever, right? I mean, obviously you set it up for whatever companies and links you're wanting to promote, okay? So anyway, we go, so you don't have, since this is your profile and these are your links, you really don't have to do anything more here. So we can simply say update and we can go back. Let's go ahead and create another affiliate. And then in a moment, I'm going to show you how to actually use this link inside of a post. All right. So let's go back to WP affiliates and let's create another affiliate. Let's call it affiliate number 1. And let's make their identifier, AF1, just to be simple, and register date is today again. Now let's go ahead and click save. Now, so what is it going to do when it creates that affiliate? It's automatically going to put all of the backup links, your backup links, inside of their, inside of their system here. So this box here is going to have your links. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to change this to whatever their thing is. So let's say that I'll just use Elite Marketing Pro as an example. At Elite Marketing Pro, it's HTTP and then my identifier. And by the way, this identifier for Elite Marketing Pro or whatever program I'm promoting does not have to match the one on my site. This AF1 is just what I send them to my website for, and then it's going to pull this link regardless of what's here. So let's say that I've got an affiliate whose name is Bob Jones. I could put B Jones right here for this, B Jones for this, and this one I didn't have an identifier. So let's say that this one happened to have a, I don't know, question mark ID equals or something. And that was how they figured out their affiliate IDs, and maybe it was still B Jones. We could put that here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to update this. All right. So now we go back over here. Now let's do one more thing. Let's set up one more affiliate. Let's say that Bob goes out and signs somebody up, and you tell your affiliates, hey, if you sign somebody up, then their links are your links. So what you can do with affiliate number 1, let's say affiliate number 1 signed up affiliate number 2. Number 2. All right, so we're going to call this identifier AF2. And by the way, notice we got the green check mark. If I put AF1, notice I get an X. That's just telling me that this has already been used. This is really helpful as you start to get a lot of affiliates and you have no idea which ones have been used. If somebody picks an identifier, I mean, you can do this however you want with what identifier they pick. You can let them pick it. You can make it a number. If your company assigns them a number, you could just make it the same as their company number, whatever, however you want to do it. I typically let my affiliates pick their own. But anyway, identifier AF1 is already taken, so we'll make this one AF2, and we will make today's date, and we save. All right, now, so for affiliate number 2, let's say that affiliate number 2 signed up for Elite Marketing Pro, but they didn't sign up for the company, right? By the way, let me go back to affiliate number 1 for a moment, and then I'll show you affiliate number 2. What I typically like to do, this is just for me. You really don't have to use this box here at all. The reason I have it is because whenever I go into somebody's profile, it gives me a quick glance. I will copy this link and this link here. And what this allows me to do is it allows me to see what all they're eligible for. So, right, if I go in here and I copy all of those, if I see a link over here, if this person wasn't eligible for this and this was my link over here instead of his or something, I would just know at a glance, okay, this is empty, he's not eligible for this particular opportunity, and this link is my link. It just tells me because it's blank, shows me at a glance, but there is functionality to it if you want to use it. The system's gonna check this box first, use this link. If there's nothing there, it'll then check this box here, okay? And so here's where that might come in handy. I'll click Update Links. So now, affiliate number 1 has all 3 of these links, but let's say affiliate number 2 only signed up for Elite Marketing Pro but didn't sign up for the network marketing company. What we can do is, and they signed up, by the way, under affiliate number 1. I can take and I can copy, and by the way, you can search here. Once again, this is really handy as you start getting a lot of affiliates. You do not want to have to scroll through a whole list. Right now it's easy because we only have 3. But if you want to see the link for your name, I could click this and I could copy those links. What we're going to do is we're going to say, well, affiliate 1 signed up affiliate 2. So I'm going to highlight affiliate 1 and I'm going to say I can either copy all of affiliate 1's links or I could copy the backup links. I'm just going to copy that's that second row, right? Copy all links is going to copy the first column and the second column. Copy backup links will only copy that second column. So we'll say copy backup links. And what it did was it took everything from affiliate 1's profile and it copied it into affiliate 2's profile in this box here. Now, had I clicked copy links, it would have filled in this box too. But we didn't do that because why? Because this person we decided was not eligible for this because he didn't sign up for it, but he did sign up for Elite Marketing Pro. And let's say that this person's name is, Susie Johnson. And so she's going to be S. Johnson. Okay. And then we can highlight this, S. Johnson. Now, if you're wondering, man, doesn't this get tedious typing out all of these names each time? I actually found it's not built into the plugin, but it's a free extension that you can get for Chrome that makes this really way faster, especially if you have a lot of links to update at once. I'll show you what that is and how that works here in a minute. But so now we know. Now you could just keep it like this, and this is going to work fine. But once again, I like to just take and say, okay, I'm going to copy this over here. Now I'm going to copy this link and put it here. And now I know that Susie Johnson is eligible for link 1 and link 2. She's in Elite Marketing Pro, but she's not in MLM company number 1. This is still Bob Jones's link. That's why that backup link can come in handy. So we're going to update this. And by the way, anybody this is a way you can create scarcity for people to join other programs that you're offering. You say affiliate number 2, hey, if you sign up somebody, they're going to be and they sign up for MLM company number 1, they're going to be a referral to this person and not to you, right? So that's another thing that you can kind of do with this system. All right. So that's the basics of how this works. Here in a minute, I'll get into tracking IDs. A lot of you may not be using those, but I will show you in a minute how to use them. The more important thing is knowing where to put these links, how to make them actually function, right? So once again, I'm just going to remind you, make sure that all of your links have the HTTP before them, http:///, otherwise the links may not work. So right here, this link, PHP include file link 1, I'm going to copy this code. Now, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to create a new post. So I highlight over post and I say add new. So let's say you type up a whole post, and this is, we're going to call it my brand new awesome blog post, right? And you create a whole bunch of amazing value, great tips. Click here to learn more, right, about the Ignition coaching program. So let's say that was your call to action in this particular blog post. So what you can do is we highlight this and we're going to click on the link. Well, instead of putting a specific link like tzonner.ignitioncoaching.com or whatever that is, instead we're going to highlight, we're going to put in PHP include whatever that code was. We highlighted it, we copied it, we put it right here, and I'm going to have it open in a new window, and I'm going to say add link. So now, here's what happens. Let's go ahead and do this for the other two as well, just for for demonstration's sake. Let's say that you also said click here if you want to learn about attraction marketing formula. We're going to highlight this. And I'm going to paste the same code, but instead of link 1, my memory I remember that attraction marketing formula was link 2, and I say add link. Now I'm just going to do one more. I'm going to say click here if you want to hear about my primary company or whatever, right? So let's say that this was for your MLM company and you put in a link here. I'm going to paste it, and I'm going to now make this, I'm just going to change this to link 3. And say add link. Now, I'm going to go ahead and publish this, and let's look what happens when we put in a few different identifiers for the website. It's going to change these links based on a few different things. So if I come over to this website, by the way, this is just a test website. I don't really have any content on here, trainingwithtyson.com. But let's go ahead and say that we go to trainingwithtyson.com and we go to this blog post right here. All right. So we've got trainingwithtyson.com, P = 5, and that's because this particular post is, or the way that this WordPress site is set up is for each post. By the way, you can change this, and I recommend you do. Let me just show you that. I might as well. Okay, so let's go into your dashboard inside of your WordPress dashboard here, and right on the sidebar where it says settings, in this dropout, you go to permalinks. And this is how we're going to change that setting, which I recommend you do. Click on permalinks. And the default, if you just set up your blog, is going to have this P =. I mean, you could still use that, but I don't recommend you do. For SEO purposes, it's usually good. And plus, if you do any kind of pixeling later on with Facebook retargeting, this can come in really handy. So I would use post name, all right? And then we're going to go ahead and say save changes. And now, if I go back over to posts and I see all posts, which I only have one because I just tested this out, and now I click on edit. Now the place, here we go. I called this my brand new awesome blog post, and look what the title is, my brand new awesome blog post. And I can change that. I can say edit and call it my new awesome blog post or whatever. But I'm going to keep it this for now. And I'm going to say update. All right, now let's show you how to use those links. Let's go view post. Here we are. So right now, there's no identifier. There's no ID equals to say who the referring affiliate is, right? So if I just click on Ignition Coaching Program, it's going to be looking at the master link to grab the link for this, right? If I click here, look up here in the top. Okay, it looks like there is a small problem. All right, notice it says HTTP, there's no colon here, and then it's got slash slash, which is why there's a problem. Okay, I know why it's doing that. I'm glad it did that because I want to show you guys how to fix this. The reason why is because it put HTTP in the post and it's back in the master link. So let's go inside of our post here. Let's highlight this. So when you put in this code, you do not want this HTTP right here before. All you want in this box is PHP include the file link 1. Do not put in the HTTP. So we need to change that for this link as well. Okay, get rid of the HTTP : right? The only thing you want is what's inside the brackets. So I'm going to do that one more time here for the third link. That's why that issue is there. Always test these links across your site to make sure they're working properly. I'm going to update, and let's try it again. Let's go ahead and look at our page. Let's reload it. And now if we click here, there we go. All right, so now it pulled up tzonner.elitemarketingpro.com/go and then ignition, right? So now it cookied me and then it took me over to this page. So I'm cookied. Let's go ahead and do another one where you can still see that code up there. Let's do attraction marketing formula. It opens in a new window. It gives me tzonner dot and then my link. And the reason it's doing that is because we did not put in a code, so it's pulling from the master link. Now, if I put in, what was my affiliate code here? I got to go back and remember. I think it was 123456. Yeah. So nothing's going to change if I put in my identifier. If I put in $ID equals 123456 and then I hit enter, everything's going to be the same because it's not grabbing from the master link, it's grabbing from my profile. But what if we wanted a different affiliate? Remember, we have code here that says I'm going to look in all of these users and I'm going to look for affiliate 1 if the identifier is AF1. So let's grab AF1, and let's say that somebody comes to this post. They get all the value, they get all the training, and you put in $ID equals AF1. Well, let's look what's now going to happen. Right? All right, so now if we click on this link here for Ignition Coaching Program, look what it says, bjones.elitemarketingpro.com. If we did this here for Attraction Marketing Formula, goes over to bjones.elitemarketingpro. If we click here for primary company, it's going to go to that person's primary company, right? With the ID bjones, because that's the one that we had. Of course, that's not a real thing, so that's why that showed up. And then, of course, if affiliate 2 comes over here, well, let's look what's going to happen. Affiliate 2, remember, this is a last touch system, so now it just rewrote the cookie. Now affiliate 2 is the person who has a cookie set on the visitor's machine. We have affiliate 1, this was Susie Johnson. We click here, we've now got Susie Johnson's link. They just keep updating. Attraction Marketing Formula, she's eligible for that, but she was not eligible for the primary company, so this is still Bob Jones, okay? So that's the basics of how you're gonna set up this, the system. If you want to know more about how to incorporate tracking IDs, this is where things can get a little more complicated, a little tricky. It's not that confusing. I'm going to show you that here in just a moment, but for those of you who are wondering, well, Tyson, what about that thing where you said, we could update lots of links at one time? Let me show you how I do it, and I'm going to show you how handy this is by pulling up my site. So here we are on my actual site where I'm using it. So this is not a test site. I've got all of these different people with different identifiers. So for example, we got Ryan Beach with R Beach is his identifier. Okay. Now let's just go ahead and create a brand new person. Let's say I've got brand new affiliate, and that person's identifier is new AF1. All right. And we click register date for today, and we go ahead and say save. Now, here's what I can do. A couple of things that I've done just to make things easier on me. If, let's say, that brand new affiliate number 1 was signed up by me, typically, if I've got several things that they're eligible for, I have profiles set that are never used in here. You'll notice if I type in the word new, I've got new Elite Marketing Pro member. I've got new PLS member, which was another program that I promoted, new EMP and PLS member if they signed up for both. And so what that does is, well, let me just show you. If I click new EMP member and I say copy links. Well, what that's going to do, so I don't have to just keep copying and pasting and copying and pasting. What I've basically made is like a template. It's a that EMP member. Nobody ever comes to the site with that affiliate ID. Nobody even knows what it is. But now, brand new affiliate, I just copied a bunch of dummy links that I can easily update for that person. Right? Notice they were not a Power Lead System member, so none of these Power Lead System links have their code in it. Right? They do, however, have my affiliate ID at the end of it. But when we scroll down here to all of the Elite Marketing Pro stuff, like Attraction Marketing Formula, Pro Blog Academy, Ultimate Sales Funnel, Elite Marketing Pro, 40% off, the VIPs at 100% commissions, and so forth. Notice I just put in a dummy code here that was EMP-ID. And this would work just as fine if they were referred by somebody. I'll show you that option too. But I have an extension that I use inside of Chrome called Search and Replace. Here it is. Okay, if you just do a web search for Chrome extensions, search and replace. Okay, go out and grab, I think it's just the first one that shows up here. Chrome extensions, search and replace. The icon, yeah, here it is. It looks like a little magnifying glass. I use this and it makes things so much easier. So you just say add to Chrome. You have to use it inside of Chrome for it to work, but man, does it save me time. Because now, let's say that new affiliate 1, that her Elite Marketing Pro ID was, Deborah Smith or something. I can click here and I can say search for EMP ID. Remember, that's what I put in as a placeholder. And I can say replace it with Deb Smith. And I say go. Well, now it just updated every single link in one click. I didn't have to copy, paste, and all of that stuff. And then, of course, make sure you say update links. By the way, I should tell you something. If you try and use this thing again, I think it's always a good idea to update the links after every change. Because in the past, when I have tried to change this link twice, it goes back and it overwrites it. So I'm just going to go ahead and say update links. And now Deb Smith's profile is updated, right? Now, what if Deb Smith had been referred by somebody else? Well, let's go back to our affiliates, right? Let's say that Deb Smith had been signed up by, let's say, John Norman down here, and John Norman happens to be a member of both Elite Marketing Pro and Power Lead System. So what we could do is, and by the way, if you do this, you're going to rewrite everything you just did. So I'm going to say John Norman. There we go. I click John's profile, and I could copy all of John's backup links here, right? I could either do the backup links or the main links. I'm just going to do all the main links just to show you that it copies over everything. And now I click on Deb Smith's profile, the brand new affiliate here, who we said was Deb Smith. And now she's got all of John Norman's links. Okay, so now let's say she's eligible for Elite Marketing Pro, but not for Power Lead System. Well, I can leave all of John's links in place, and he still gets credit for those referrals on my website, right? But I can highlight this right here, which was his referring ID, copy that, go to search and replace. I'm going to search for this Shabak J, and I'm going to now replace it with Deb Smith. It finds all of his, it replaces it with hers, and then I can say update links, right? Now, if I wanted to, I could go in and just, so that I know at a glance or something that she's not eligible, I can highlight each one of these and get rid of them if I so desire. And it's still going to grab this second link over here because remember, this is John Norman's link right here. This is also John Norman's link. It's really a little redundant, but for me, I just did it. You don't have to do it. You could use everything just in this one column on the right side here if you want. It doesn't really matter. But I'm going to update the new affiliate's profile again. And that's how you can update a bunch of links very, very quickly. Oh, there is one other feature I should probably show you guys before I go in and I show you how the tracking IDs work. I forgot about this. There is a function here called search and replace, which is different than this search and replace extension. Here's what this search and replace does here. I'm going to do it, I don't want to mess up my system. So by the way, this is not a real affiliate, so I'm going to delete this person from the database. I click delete. Are you sure you want to delete them? Yes. Always be very careful when you do that. Okay, so that affiliate has been deleted. And let's go over back to my dummy site so I don't mess any of this up. But what you can do here, remember, all of these affiliates here are, elitemarketingpro.com /go/ignition special. Let's say, here's a good example. This is a good lead in to the tracking ID thing. So I'll teach you this, and then it'll lead into the tracking ID thing. So let's say that we wanted to add a tracking ID at the end of each one of these, right? And so the tracking ID for Elite Marketing Pro is SID. So let's say I wanted to send somebody from my website over to Elite Marketing Pro, but I sent them to my website first through a Facebook ad. And I wanted to track which ad came to my site, and I wanted to pass that ad tracking over to Elite Marketing Pro. Well, I could go into each one of these profiles and I could put in at the end of this question mark. And by the way, you just have to find out from each different affiliate company what parameter they use for their tracking ID. Like I know that JVZoo uses TID. ClickFunnels, ClickBank. I can't remember what they use. I think it might also be TID. I know for Elite Marketing Pro, they use SID. So I would put in question mark SID equals, and then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put in a bracket, and remember what we called it? In our cookies, we called it bracket TID1 close bracket. And what it's going to do is it's going to go search the database. If there's nothing there, it won't put anything there and it doesn't mess anything up. But if it finds a tracking ID, it plugs that tracking ID in. When they buy at Elite Marketing Pro, you can then see inside, or whatever you're promoting, you can then see inside of your dashboard or your back office what advertisement they purchased from, and then it helps you to know if you're doing any advertising, paid advertising, what's profitable, what's not. It also lets you know if you're sending traffic from content. You could say tracking ID 1, you could make it question mark TID equals, blog post May 29th, 2015. You could put a date in there so that oh wow, this is a really great blog post that has been getting me a lot of sales, and then you could ramp that up and start sending paid traffic to it. So those are just a couple of ideas for you. But let's say that instead of having to do this for everything, let's say that what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to highlight all of this. Now I don't want to overwrite the T's honor part. All I want to do is I want to overwrite elitemarketingpro.com, and I want to add a tracking ID to everybody. Let's say I wanted to add, well, let's just do one. I'll copy this, okay? So I'm going to right click and copy everything I have highlighted. Well, now what I can do is I can go over to search and replace right here. And I can tell it, I want you to search the link or the backup link or the level. I can change any one of them. I'm going to do let's do the backup link first. And I'm going to say for link number 1 across the board, I want you to look inside of link number 1, and I want you to find this. I want anything that has elitemarketingpro.com /go/ignition special. I want you to replace it with this, and it's going to now add that TID. Well, what that'll do is, let's say you have 100 people and you need to change, you want to add this tracking code identification. You don't want to go into 100 profiles and add question mark TID equals, or question mark SID equals bracket TID1 over and over and over for everybody. So what I can do is I can say, all right, for link number 1, we're going to make this change across all profiles. So we click search and replace, make sure, and this will give you a warning, make sure there's no empty fields. Press OK to update text for the matches. Let's see if it worked. Now you would have to do this again for the main link. But let's go in and let's just double check for everybody. Let's click on affiliate number 2 right here. And right here, check it out. So we did it for the backup link. B Jones has now changed. It's still B Jones, but elitemarketingpro.com all the way over to SID. Now look at this one. We didn't do it for link 1. So now I can go back into the search and replace function of the plugin, and I can do the same thing. Instead of backup link, let's do it for the main link. Let's do it for link number 1 again. We're going to search for elitemarketingpro.com .com without that question mark TID stuff at the end, and we are going to replace it with this, and we are going to search and replace. Now, for somebody who doesn't have that in their, if they don't have anything in that first link, of course it's not going to do anything. But now we click on affiliate number 1, and sure enough, Bob Jones has now got that TID added at the end of his thing. And then I think that if you wanted, let's say that you stopped promoting something. Let's say that, let's just use this as an example, clear field. So let's say that you stopped promoting link number 3, the network marketing company you were in or whatever. Well, we could click field number 3, which is the third one, and then we can click on whether we want to get rid of, clear out what we have written in the link, the backup link, the level, or all of them. If you do all of them, you just do them one at a time. So I could say clear the field. Are you sure? Yes. Now let's do it again. Well, let's just go check it first. Click on WP Affiliates. Now let's check and see. It got rid of link 3 here for affiliate number 1, which is Bob. It's gone right here. And I can do that across the board for, I just keep doing that. Once again, link 3, field number 3, what it means is link number 3. We did it for the main link. Let's do it for the backup link. And let's go ahead and just do it for the description. Level means description. That's the that far right where you just write what it is. And let's say clear the field. Say OK. Once again, please be very careful with this. If you've done a lot of work, you want to make sure you're being very, very careful to make sure that you don't goof up anything. You may want to, find somebody who knows how to back up your WordPress tables in case you do mess something up. That way you could, reinstate it if there's a goof. But now if we click on, Bob's profile, link 3 is gone for him. It's going to be gone for everybody. Nobody has a link 3 anymore. So that's a way that you can either change or delete an entire link across the board. I hope that makes sense. And now finally, for those of you who want to understand how the tracking IDs work. So we've already got this in place. Let's go ahead and do it for link number 2 as well. So let's put in, at the end of this link, we're going to put in question mark SID equals TID. And the reason I'm using SID, just as a reminder, is because for Elite Marketing Pro, their identifier, their parameter for their system has to be SID. If you send somebody to your website with TID, and that's your parameter, that's great, and it'll cookie it for you. But on Elite Marketing Pro's website, they've decided that they want their parameter to be SID. If you send somebody over to JVZoo, they're going to have a different parameter. If you send them over to ClickBank, they'll have a different parameter for the cookie they want to set for your tracking ID. It's just going to be different for different affiliate programs, and some may not have a tracking ID at all. You're just going to have to check with the program that you're promoting. But let's say for link number 2, we do not want to replace S. Johnson, right? All we want to do is everything from elitemarketingpro.com all the way to the end. Let's right click and say copy. And let's go over here to search and replace. And across the board for link number, for the main link on link 2, we're going to put in the old text, which is going to be all of that without the question mark. And now we're going to do the new text and add the question mark. Let's say search and replace. And it should do it. We'll check it in a minute. Let's do the backup link as well. We can go ahead and say link number 2 was the one we were fixing. We do not want this TID here now, but we want it to add this text here. And search and replace. Okay. And just for example, let's say we wanted to change the description as well. Level for link 2. And let's say instead of it being AMF, I actually wanted it spelled out. Attraction Marketing Formula. And now it would change it all the way across the board. It would, everywhere it finds AMF, it's going to replace it here. Search and replace. Okay? So remember, this is going to do it. This is going to replace that text for everybody who has link 2. So what you want to do is you don't want to use this to just update one person's profile. That's where this little extension I showed you a few minutes ago, the search and replace Chrome extension, that's where that'll save you some time. This is if you quit promoting an offer, or I don't know, like when Elite Marketing Pro got rid of magnetic sponsoring and they replaced it with the traction marketing formula. This came in really handy for me because I basically just went through and with a couple of clicks, I changed everybody's link that said bjones.magneticsponsoring.com or whatever. I was able to just go through and say, hey, across the board, anywhere where you find magnetic sponsoring, for everybody's link, let's change it to say Elite Marketing Pro, and so forth. And then I can change the descriptions for products and all of that. So now we've got this question mark SID equals TID1, TID1. And I could even put in a TID2 if I wanted to, but that's not gonna be necessary. So let's show you now what this does. Let's say that we come to the website and we go to our post, our little sample post. You don't have to change anything in the post because that PHP code is going to automatically come back and grab the link that you have set. Okay, so we click here on all posts and let's view this post here, and let's refresh the page just to make sure everything is correct. Now if I hover over this, oh, by the way, the reason why right now, if I click on this, the one place it does not change it, I forgot, I should have mentioned this. The one place it does not change it is in the master link. So you will have to manually go into the master link. And that's why when I clicked here, right now there is no affiliate set for the site. So if I were to click on Attraction Marketing Formula, right now it's grabbing from the master link. And the master link doesn't have that set. But let's look what happens as soon as I put in question mark ID equals, what was it, AF1, and let's hit enter. Now it's going to grab all the links from the first person there. Okay. And we click on Ignition Coaching Program. All right. Looks like I may have told you wrong here on this because I told you to put in the bracket, and we do not want the bracket. So this should be pretty easy with our search and replace. I'm going to show you how to do that here in a minute, but notice if we did, let's just double check it. If I put in question mark ID equals AF1 and we put in, right, remember your next parameter is added by saying and the name of the parameter for our website is TID equals, let's call it Facebook ad, right? And we hit enter. Now, if I go over here and I try to click on this, it does not have that TID, I believe, because I put those brackets in there. So let's go back and let's see if that fixes it. We're going to do the search and replace. We'll go link 1. For link 1, the main link, the bracketed TID1 close bracket, and we're going to replace that with TID1 without the brackets. Let's go ahead and search and replace that for link 1. Let's do the same thing for the backup link on link 1. Search and replace. Okay. While we're here, we'll just go ahead and do it for link 2 as well. Main link for link 2. And let's do backup link for link 2. And that should fix everything with the brackets, without the brackets. And that should replace everything. Let's just go double check in one of our profiles. Click here on affiliate 2. And at the end, there it is. All right, so now we go back to our blog post and let's see if this fixes it. We click here. And if we click on the link, oops, hold on, right up here, it says, this is another reason why it didn't work. I had just TID, and remember our parameter was TID1, so that's another goof I made. For my website, the parameter was TID1. This is where things can get a little confusing, so just test it, make sure it's working. All right, so we've got question mark ID equals affiliate 1, AF1, and TID1 for tracking ID 1 is, we just called it Facebook ad. You can call it whatever you want. If you're sending traffic from, somewhere else, like, Twitter or whatever, you call it whatever you want there. But we're going to go ahead and say Facebook ad, and we totally, let's reload this page now. And now, there we go. We click here where it says, click here to learn more about Ignition Coaching. And right here, it adds SID equals Facebook ad at the end of Bob Jones's link. And same thing here for my primary company. oops, sorry, primary company was not one that had it, but attraction marketing formula did. B. Jones. And now we could change it. Let's just do one more. Let's say that affiliate 2 sends somebody over. So it's she would send somebody from $ID equals AF2. Remember, you're going to add a new parameter with an ampersand. What is the parameter? We want TID1 equals, and we're going to call this one Twitter ad, maybe, right? And we hit enter. Well, now the cookies have been reset. Now it's going to go to Susie Johnson's link, and for the SID, it's going to cookie her inside of Elite Marketing Pro system as coming from a Twitter ad. So we click here, and there you go, right up at the top. It's now set a cookie inside of their system with Twitter ads. So anyway, that should give you the complete rundown of exactly how to use the affiliate plugin. There are some things that are a little more complex, a little more complicated. Just come back, revisit this video anytime that you need to. Hopefully you get a lot of use out of it, and hopefully you can really entice people to join your team and promote your content and really start helping you to get viral traffic and getting a whole lot of leverage with getting other people to promote your stuff. And I can tell you guys, this works really great when you can tell people, hey, I've set up a system for you. You can promote my content, and when they click on these links, you're going to get the sign up. And oh, by the way, you can set up these links behind an image. You can set these links up behind like a button. I just did it here behind text to make it easy. But like for example, if you go over to my Marketing Bootcamp website and you go to my blog, on my blog there's a sidebar. Okay, you could do this inside of the sidebar where we've got MLM recruiting rejection free ? Well, this has that PHP code behind this image, and this has the PHP code for what's working now, whatever that link happens to be. So anyway, that should kind of give you guys an idea of how to use that. And if you want to put it behind an image, it's just the same thing. You just put in that PHP. Just remember, do not put the HTTP in with the PHP. That will mess things up. You want the HTTP to be in your link profile inside of the the plugin area, here, and the master link. But whenever you actually put the link inside of a post or behind a button, if it adds the HTTP before it, get rid of that. You don't want it. Okay. Anyway, I hope that helps. Tells you guys everything you need to know. Good luck. Hope you enjoy the plugin. Have a great one. Bye.